Hello friends, I am Aditya Bhavne. Today we are going to learn impulse momentum principle and force exerted by jet on fixed vertical plate. If you see this U1, classify the turbo machines along with its application and evaluate performance parameter for flat, inclined plate and curved and series of vanes. In this we covered in last lecture the classification of turbo machines. Now we are going to study the applications and evaluation of performance parameter for flat plate, that is force exerted by jet on fixed vertical plate. Now what will be the content? Revision of fluid mechanics, few basic terms, then impulse momentum principle, then force exerted by jet on fixed vertical plate. So we know that turbo machine is nothing but conversion of energy from fluid to rotor or rotor to fluid, that is turbine or compressor. So these are turbines: Francis fixed, Largo, Pelton, Kaplan, Crossflow, and this compressor, low pressure and high pressure compressor. Now what are the applications of turbo machines? Like as I said, electric power generation, Pelton, Kaplan, Francis turbines, and for steam turbines, thermal power plant. In that case we use steam turbines, windmills, then air propulsion, multi-stage centrifugal pumps, compressors used in petrochemical industries as well as refrigeration industry as well. So multi-stage centrifugal compressor and scroll compressors are being used in petrochemical as well as refrigeration industry. So fan and blowers in furnace to produce draft. Next, now revision of few basic things. As we know, density is nothing but mass per unit volume. Specific weight, we know weight per unit volume, that is rho g. Then pressure is rho g q, rho g h, basically that is kilopascal or Newton per meter square or bar. So continuity equation, we know mass in equal to mass out, that m dot equal to rho q, that is rho av, q equal to rho av, that is av. Euler's equation, integration of dp by rho plus v dv plus gz equal to 0. Now in this case work done, we know for force into displacement, torque is nothing but for rotary motion, force into radius, radial distance. Now for rate of doing work we call power. So for linear motion it is force into displacement per unit time. So displacement per unit time is nothing but velocity. And for rotary motion it is torque into angular velocity, pi dn by or 2 pi nt by 60. Now turbine power, force into blade velocity, that is m dot v1 minus v2 into u by 1000. Now we know compressor power, that is force into again blade velocity, but in this case m dot v2 minus v1 into u by 1000, that is reverse to that of turbine. Efficiency again output by input, that is work done per second by kinetic energy of fluid. Now we know volume flow rate, that is q, is nothing but volume of fluid across a particular section for per unit time. Now its units are meter cube per second, liter per minute, liter per second. Let us consider those are units. 1000 liter per second equal to 1 meter cube per second, or 60,000 liter per minute, which will be equal to 1 meter cube per second. So Q equal to A into V. Now mass flow rate, again we know that the mass of fluid across a section in unit time. So in that case mass of fluid per unit time for particular volume, that is density, is nothing but m dot by q. And fluid flow rate, it is given as weight of fluid flowing across a section in unit time, that is Newton per second. And relationship amongst weight of fluid flow rate, mass flow rate and discharge is weight is nothing but weight per unit volume, weight flow rate. So weight density into volume. So weight of fluid flowing per second equal to weight density into weight of fluid per second. So basically wet flow rate equal to gamma into Q. So gamma into rho A, that is gamma into AV. So weight is equal to mass into G, that is m into G. So mass density equal to mass by volume. So mass equal to density into volume. So mass of fluid flowing per second equal to mass density into volume of fluid. So in this way we get m dot equal to rho a v. So we know that Newton's second law of motion is nothing but the rate of change of momentum of body is directly proportional to the magnitude of applied force and take place in the direction of applied force, which is nothing but force equal to mass into acceleration. That we know. Force equal to mass into acceleration. For let's say removing that constant k as considered 1, so we get force equal to mass into acceleration. The unit is Newton. Now what is momentum? Basically in our earlier definition for turbo machine, we know the work has been carried out by the rate of change of momentum. So what is the capacity of moving body to impart motion to other bodies is nothing but momentum. So capacity of a moving body to impart motion to other bodies. If one thing is moving and it is impacting other and which will cause to move, that is nothing but momentum. So we know basic definition of that: momentum equal to mass into velocity, that is kg meter per second. And here is the big difference for impulse force and impulse of force. So what is impulse force? A force is acting over a short interval of time on a body is nothing but impulsive force. So which is, for example, kick given to a football, so which is very short period when we kick the football. For short interval time, if we are giving force to anything, that is impulsive force. And second thing, impulsive of force is nothing but impulse of force is given by the product of magnitude of force and its timing action. So how much force and time interval required to perform that action is nothing but impulsive of force. SI unit Newton second. Now we study impulse momentum principle. We know from second law of Newton, force equal to mass into acceleration. So again acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity. Correct, rate of change of velocity. So if I took this m inside derivative m dv by dt, so if I multiply this dt with respect to f into dt and d into m into v is nothing but momentum. So this is nothing but impulse and this is nothing but rate of change of momentum. So I can say force equal to m dot v2 minus v1, that is rate of change of velocity per unit time. So per unit time. So if I equate this, I will get this v2 minus v1. So f into t, if I multiply here, I get m to v2 minus m to v1. So impulse equal to final momentum minus initial moment. So m1 m v2 minus m v1. So final minus initial momentum. So what is this? Nothing but the force exerted by the body on fluid. Okay. So impulse force is nothing but change of momentum caused by the force on a body. So state that impulse momentum principle: impulsive force exerted on body is equal to the resulting change in momentum of the body. So again the same thing, force equal to m by t. So m by t, v2 minus v1, so final minus initial velocity. So I can rewrite as m dot equal to rho a v. So what is v2 in this case? Velocity, final velocity of fluid along the direction. And what is v1? Initial velocity of fluid along the direction of jet or fluid. Now finally fx in terms of x and y, f equal to m dot v2 minus v1 and f equal to m dot v2 minus v1 y. So this force represents the force exerted by the body on fluid. Therefore the force exerted by the fluid on body, again fluid on body, will be equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So by Newton's second law of motion, so I can say the force exerted by the fluid on body is nothing but opposite to the direction minus rho q or m dot v2 minus v1. So negative side inside, force equal to rho q v1 minus v2. So this is main thing, force equal to rho q in bracket v1 minus v2. Here, now how energy is being generated by using hydraulic thing? So nothing but water when strikes the impeller blades, so those blades will rotate, and the blades which are mounted on a shaft or rotor, which will going to move and which will rotate the alternator and generator. So energy is being generated. So basic what we need to determine the amount of hydraulic force or jet fluid must be striking to the blade. So that energy we need to calculate. So for that case, there are different ways we can calculate the force. So let us see one by one case. So first case is flat plate. In that flat plate, first is force exerted by the jet on fixed vertical plate. So let us consider the jet of water coming out of this nozzle and striking the vertical plate, so which is fixed. Getting? Now this is nozzle, this is jet of water, this is final velocity, this is initial velocity. Now I am considering the this is diameter of jet. Okay, so area of jet will be pi by 4 into d square. This is vertical plate and it is hinged fixed plate. Now whenever the jet strikes the plate, its final velocity becomes 0 in the direction of the velocity. So let us say initial velocity v1, final velocity v2 will be 0 along the x direction. Okay, so final velocity along y directions, it will be something in this direction only. So along this direction, final velocity will be 0. So we know the jet after striking the plate will move along the plate, but the plate is at right angle to the jet. Hence the jet of after striking will get deflected through 90 degree, and hence the component of velocity of jet in the direction of jet after striking will be 0. So from this we can calculate the force exerted by the jet on the plate in the direction of jet, that is Fx along the x direction, is nothing but rate of change of momentum in the direction of force, which is nothing but initial momentum minus final momentum by time. This formula is important for first unit of this session. Initial momentum minus final momentum by time. So initial momentum is nothing but mass into initial velocity, final momentum mass into final velocity. So mass per unit time common, initial velocity minus final velocity. So we know that velocity of jet before striking minus velocity of jet after striking. Before striking is nothing but v, and final velocity along the x direction. So along x direction is 0. So equation will be Fx equal to rho a v square. In this case, the Fx will be in Newton, since density is taken as kg per meter cube, that is in SI unit, which value as 1000 for water. So force will be rho a v square. Thank you.